And welcome to another RSR. Tonight, I am reacting to the news that John Herdman has been hired as manager of Toronto FC. The brand new manager of the club will start on October 1st, so we'll coach a couple of games this season, of course, before next season goes on. Not much, but we weren't going to make the playoffs anyway, so let's see if the season ends on a high, but Herdman is the new manager. Terry Dunfield will stay the interim up until October. So the last match this month and all the matches in September, Terry will take charge of. Hopefully Terry could start building back something that Herdman can build on at the end of the season and into the future. But I like the move. I like John Herdman being named Toronto manager. I think he's a good manager. I gained some faith back in him during the Gold Cup. There was a moment where I was like, is this the time for him to walk away from Canada during the Nations League? But during the Gold Cup, the U.S. game in particular, he gained some belief back, some faith back from me. Because that's exactly what old Herdman does. What the Herdman before post-World Cup did, find ways to win, or at least try to win. If it wasn't for Scott Kennedy, they would have been in the Gold Cup semifinals, and who knows, maybe they'd be in the final too. They would have been in the final too. But tactically against the USA at Gold Cup, Canada played amazingly. They did it perfectly, and they got undone by Scott Kennedy being in the wrong position at the wrong time. But there was a tactical understanding. They played well there. Point being is John Herdman's known for his motivational tactics, his tactical genius. It normally comes off. Let's put it like that. You could say he's not a tactical genius, but things work out. When Herdman was coaching Canada, things normally worked out. You could say that's tactical genius. You could just say he got lucky. To me personally, you got to know at least a little bit to have what he pulled come off. When they played the USA, they won the Nations League in 19. The Nations League game against the USA in 19 in Canada. They won in Hamilton against the USA. They drew the USA. They did not drop any points to Mexico during qualifying. They should have beat Belgium. Tactically, I thought they were set up well there as well. I think Herdman is better tactically than people give him credit for. But I think also his motivational skills, him getting his team to run through walls for him, is a very big plus for him. I think he can get players to run through a wall for him. Multiple, more than 1, 2, 3, 4 walls. But players run through walls for John Herdman. And I have a very good hope that John Herdman can do that with TFC. He has a certain style. I'd like to see what he does with the fact that he has a transfer window now. What exactly he does to rebuild the team would be very interesting. I would think there's a very good situation here for him. Or I wouldn't say it's a very good situation, but he could definitely push the team forward. He could push the team into a forward direction and build them out from the doldrums they're in. He did it with Canada. There's no reason why I wouldn't believe in John Herdman. Yes, Bill Manning's a complete idiot, but if John Herdman steps up and says, hey, you want to keep your job? If you keep it after the season, shut up and let me handle it. Because I think he would have the clout to do that. Personally, I think he has the clout to do that. So, with that being said, I believe in John Herdman getting the best out of this team. Whenever he comes in, if they try, he uses that to completely judge players on who he wants to keep and who he wants to sell and get rid of. I think that's perfect. And it's good that he starts early. It's good that he's not going to wait till after the season to come in, because I would love to see how these players play under him for like the last 3 games of the season. I would love to see it, because I think personally John Herdman will get these players to play good enough to fight for their positions, to fight for a ticket to next season. And I think that's the big thing here. If he started next year, are we putting ourselves in a position where he's going to build up a team that they basically just absolutely blow up anyway? Are we giving up at least half of a season? I don't know. I think right now it's good for him to see, hey, I like this guy. I like this guy. I want this guy gone. Of course, he's going to be watching the games, but the difference here is you look at the football that they play, you would be like, okay, I can't really make any decisions because what style are they playing? There is talent there. You get them to believe for 3 matches, say, hey, do your best, play your best for these last 3 matches, give or take, and then we'll go from there. If you're here next year, you're here next year. If you're not, you don't deserve to be here. Some people, I think, deserve to go. Now, that's not a question. I think Insigne still needs to go. I think Bradley needs to retire. But there are some players that I think need to go. Ayo Akinola, throw him out the door. Prince Owusu, I can't really make any calls on him yet, but we could do better. Diomande out, for sure. Sapong out. But there are players that are on the bubble that could be moved if they don't do good enough under Herdman for those last 3 matches. I hope these players see that they need to start building up to where they could play their best those last 3 matches. So there's a little bit of a jolt put into this team. Not that it'll make them the playoffs, it won't. Just because Miami can doesn't mean we are. Just because Miami probably will don't mean we are. With that being said, I hope these players see, hey, we're getting Herdman for like the last 3-4 matches of the year. All right, we need to make a point then. Let's pull up and start playing better so we know that we can make a point to John to whether he could keep us or not going into next season. So again, that's pretty much the big thing. I think John Herdman can build something out of this team. I think he could build something good again. I believe in John Herdman. I have no reason not to. Bob Bradley, there were red flags. Chris Armas, he had a plan. I think he got railroaded because they always wanted Bradley. Javier Perez was the best football this team's played since Vanny left, and they railroaded him. So I think Herdman, I believe in him. I believe in him. I don't really see any red flags. You could say, but what about that time around Nations League and Gold Cup before the USA? You could say that should be a red flag, but it seems like the Canadian locker room was turning against him anyway. So if that's the case, maybe it wasn't all him, but they at least put on for him against the USA, which they should have done both times, but you know, whatever. I'm good with John Herdman as the manager at TFC. I believe in him, and let's see how this goes. Good luck, John. You're going to need it. With that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you later tonight for a live watch-along and review of CF Pachuca versus Atletico San Luis. We'll be here when it's really late, but I'll see you tomorrow. Or see you tonight and early morning, I guess. But I'll see you later tonight. So we're still doing that, don't worry. But I had to do this. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See you later.